I change your bum life. You fight me, it's a celebration.
I would beat you.
When you sign to fight me, it's a celebration. You ring back home, you ring your wife. Baby, we done it. We're rich, baby. Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the red panties.
Yo, 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 welcome back to the fifth round. As always, your boy Stephen Moustaris. And man, I can't believe it's already November 2022. This shit is getting wild out here. And at least for us MMA fans, at least we can truly say we've had an amazing year in 2022. I will say this right now before I get too crazy into this. I don't know another sport that continues to get bigger and bigger and wilder and producing more just crazy action-packed moments, and I just can't get enough of it. And the UFC, man, MMA in general, but the UFC as an organization, shouts out to you guys. You guys are amazing, and I'm truly blessed to be a fan. It's been like 16, 17 years now as a fan, and I haven't missed a card, and you guys just keep getting better and better, which leads me into UFC 281. I mean, it's the second to last card of the year when we talk in pay-per-views. And who knows what they're doing in December right now. They tried the John Jones-Stipe thing. Who fucking knows? But speaking of John Jones, one of his biggest rivals that isn't necessarily a rival because they may never fight, but definitely fighting on Twitter, Israel Adesanya, as he takes on Alex Pereira this weekend in the main event. And man, you know, I understand Alex Pereira's beat him twice, and Pereira, my bad. I know he's beat him twice now in kickboxing, knocked him out once, beat him in points the other time. And I am a huge Israel Adesanya fan, and clearly I talk about it all the time. I do Muay Thai. I've done Muay Thai. That's the only, you know, it's the love of, you know, I'm a striker. I love it. I love watching it. That's my favorite thing to watch. So clearly, Israel Adesanya is going to be one of your favorite fighters when you're that type of guy, and especially so is Alex Pereira. These guys are just dogs, and I get all that. I find it so disrespectful right now of the UFC for how much I'm seeing, like just on like YouTube and stuff, and all the like every time I Google UFC or whatever, how I get my news, every time I'm checking on it, man, it's Alex Pereira this, you know, it's showing his like hype up video of him. I think he's like kicking he's got the bow in his hand, he's kicking up the target, fucking shoots it. Like I get it. It's really fucking cool. And then I think they even said something the other day about him like simulating their fight on UFC, the video game, which you guys can all get to work at, but still, it's like showing him like he wins in this simulated game, and it's, I don't know, I'm feeling like it's big hype right now from the UFC, which I guess I get it as an organization. You got a champ right now who's so dominant in Israel Adesanya, like, who seems unbeatable, and now you got a guy who has beat him, and it's like, I get it, you want to hype him up, but dude, like, I find this shit so disrespecting to the champion, man. Like, this kind of, I don't know if you guys, I mean, you guys definitely remember, but this feels a lot like, and I know it's different, I guess, in a way, but it feels a lot like when Ronda Rousey was making her return again to fight Amanda Nunes when she got her ass fucking blown out. It was like, look, Amanda Nunes is the champion. She is dominating everyone. She is a dog. Like, how is she not the one being hyped up right now? Like, I get it, Ronda Rousey is way more decorated than Alex Pereira when it comes to MMA and what he's done for the organization, so I get it, but I just remember finding it just being so appalled, and it happens all the time, like, happens all the damn time. Like, I remember, I know it's whatever, but when, I know this is a bad one, but when Tyron Woodley, when he was still good, and you know, Darren Till was coming up, they're hyping him up crazy, he fucking beats his ass. Volkan Oezdemir against DC, I remember, you know, there's certain times that they do this shit, and it really pisses me off, because I'm like, man, like, I get it for promoting, you don't want to just sit there and hype the champ up too much, but like, fuck yeah, I kind of think you should. Like, come on, man. Like, Israel Adesanya is a dog. Like, he's not to be messed with. Like, everybody used to talk like, oh, as soon as he gets taken down by these big guys, like, you know, the top fives in the world, these guys that can control you, like, you know, he's nothing. And outside of the Jan Blachowicz fight, which still was very fucking close. Like, if you're a fancy of a striker, like, you're gonna think he won that. But if you like the ground, you're going to think that Jan won that fight. But it took a 205er to take down. I think he was still like 195 or something. 197 was Adesanya weighed in, and in the ring probably that weight. Couldn't even make 205, and Jan was already back up to like 225. So outside of that, when these guys are shorter, like, we've seen Derek Brunson, who's one of the best wrestlers ever, especially in the division. Like, That man has controlled everybody on the ground. Couldn't do it. You know, he's been... Marvin Vettori is very good on the ground. Couldn't do it. Robert Whittaker couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys just can't touch this man. So I get it now. Somebody's knocked him out. Like, let's throw him up there. But I don't know. This is the one time... I'm usually on the challenger side. I like seeing a good, like, you know, underdog story. I like seeing all that stuff. But, man... 7 fights in MMA. I think he's only got 4 in the UFC. I don't think he's proven for this yet. I know he beat Sean Strickland, but Sean Strickland, I know he has the pace, but that man, you know, if he beat my ass, I get it. He would beat my ass. Totally get it. I'm not sitting here critiquing or nothing. I'm just saying, like, when it's high-level MMA fighters, you got to have to kind of compare these guys. He's not the top echelon of strikers. So if he goes in there and keeps his chin up high the way he did, he's going to get fucking knocked out. So... You know, I just think, like, if he beats a Robert Whittaker or Paulo Costa, like, those type Marvin Vettori types, like, then, yeah, I want to see him in there. But I get it. The story's got him in there. But, man, I just feel like there's just a certain disrespect right now on Adesanya's side from the organization. So I wonder if we're going to finally see a hungry Adesanya this time. Because he's got a lot to prove, not to himself, but to a lot of people. Because, you know, even people like me... No offense to Adesanya, because, dude, you know, I understand. You know, I actually don't understand. This is how hard this shit is. Like, guys, could you imagine being a champion and having everybody hunting for you? Like, being the challenger is probably a lot easier because, well, I get it. Like, you lose once, you could be at the end of the totem pole again. You got to make your way back up. But I'm saying, like, the pressure's not as high as when you're a champion who's dominating everyone. Like, everybody's working to beat your style. You used to work to beat the style that was the champion. Now you are the style as a champion, so everybody's working and training for your style. And so you got 15 to 40 guys just absolutely hungry, depending on the division, because, you know, 135s, 155s, these type of divisions they're deep, like 20 deep. So, but more like 170 for these guys, 185s. Those guys a little less deep, but still... You know, the top 8, top 15 guys are still fucking dogs, and any given night could happen. So I want to see this kind of turn on Adesanya for his finishing, because that's what I'm thinking. It's like the last couple fights, it's been him kind of just weathering the storm, I guess, in a way, just point fighting. And I hate to say it like that because he's still throwing with attention. It's just he's fighting really high-level guys that do come in with good game plans. So it's not necessarily always going to finish these guys, but he is due for a really good finish, I think. If he wants to be on the top, you know, the pound for pound rankings, the GOATs, you know, like, I think he needs a really good finish. And I think he's going to want it. I really think he's going to want it here against Pereira. And boy, if Pereira wins, let me tell you what, I don't see his title reign being long, but I think that still would just be an incredible story. And I wouldn't be shocked if he retires or something after that, because you'd probably give him the rematch. And even then, it's like, hey, I beat you 3 times. I came into your sport just to beat you, and I did. Like, that'd be tough to deny. So I get it. He's got a lot on the line too, but I don't know if he'd fight much longer because he's pretty old. I don't remember his age, but those boys have a crazy kickboxing record between the two, which is no ho. Like, that shit takes a lot out on you. I don't care. Like, I know we think of them in MMA like it's different and shit, but like, still, those miles add up. So I don't know if he would continue fighting long. So for the UFC, you probably want Adesanya to win, unless you do want him to lose just to build up a rematch and then you want him to win, because I don't see Pereira really. I don't think he's beaten Whittaker unless he knocks him out, but Whittaker's just too good. I would love to see the Jared Cannonier fight. I think that would be awesome. Paulo Costa fight, Marvin Vettori fight. Could you imagine? Those are some matchups there. So even if you are Alex Pereira and say you lose and you just kind of want to just keep going, you do have some great fights there. So it's regardless, I'm hyped for this weekend. And boy, if Adesanya does win this, I mean, boy, it's going to go right back into him finally getting back into the this is the man conversation, because he's been a little bit out of it. I'll be honest, in my point of view, I could be wrong here, but my point of view, for, you know, a lot of like fighters talking about who's the highest and everything, like up there in ranking, he has taken a hit a little bit with his last couple of performances, but this is lined up perfect for him to change it. So this has been the 5th round, and let's go, baby. UFC 281. I'm fucking geeked.